So welcome back students to your channel Infinity Education. Those who are new to channel, please subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for further notification of the videos. Along with please like and share these videos. So students, let's see what is the today's topic we are going to take. So firstly, I have image in front of you. So for this image we have a one question. Identify the reactants in the product of the reaction and also write the word equation. Students, please pause this video for 10 seconds and please write it down your answers in the comment box. So I guess you have done it, your work. You have written the reactants as well as the product along with the word equation related to this equation. So students, those who are not able to write it down, the word equation, and not able to find it out what are the reactants and product, please go through two videos I made related to the word equations where we are talking about our class 10th chapter number 1 chemical reactions. Okay, so you go through two videos, part 1 and part 2. I will share definitely the link in the description box, and you firstly go through these videos, then you will able to understand the further videos. Okay, so let's firstly we can see it in the diagram. This is a reaction which is a chemical reaction. You can see here we have a iron nails. There is some exposure of as iron nails with air, which is oxygen, water molecules along with moisture. Then we get here iron oxide, which is the layer you can see on the iron nails, right? So let's see what are the reactants. So our reactants, I have already said to you, reactants are here iron with oxygen. So the reactants iron and oxygen. You can see it, there is a brownish layer which is an layer of an oxide on these iron. So then we can say that this is a product act as a iron oxide. Students, you remember how we can able to write it down any word equation. Just see it, we have a reactants on the left hand side and with the arrow ahead in the forward direction we have a product. So there we can able to write it down the word equation. Now let's see the answer for this word equation. We have a word equation related to it which is iron plus oxygen that gives iron oxide. So this is the word equation we get at the last. Students, you are thinking about, ma'am, why we are writing the full name of the elements? Don't we have any symbols? Any symbol related to elements, molecules and compounds? Yes, students, definitely we have the symbols for the molecules, elements and compounds. So that will help us to write it down any equation into shorter form. So let's see what is that equation called which we use with the help of symbol. So that name as a chemical equation. So firstly, what is chemical equation? Let's go through it. The representation of a chemical reaction using the symbols and the formulas of the substances is called chemical equation. Here we are using some symbols and the formulas of the substances which we called as a chemical equation. So let's see the example. Suppose we have a two reactants. So we can write the symbols in front of the reactants and arrow along with the product which is in the symbol form. Okay. Now one more statement in front of you in this reaction which you can see above example. A and B are the reactants and C and D are the product. So the arrow which shows the direction of the chemical equation. Now we have to see the example. See students, when iron is exposed to oxygen to give iron oxide, right? So this example we have. Now we know that the word equation which is iron plus oxygen that gives iron oxide. So this is our word equation. Students, you remember in the ninth class you have learnt about what is the symbol for iron, that is Fe. And we know that for oxygen we have O2. But what about iron oxide? Do we have any symbol for iron oxide? Yes, we have the symbol for the iron oxide. What you have to change it out? Let's see. We can write it down our word equation into chemical equation using this formula. See here, for iron we have a formula related to Fe. For oxygen it exists in molecule form, that's why we have O2, and iron oxide is a compound which is act as Fe2O3. So students, please remember all the for the molecules what we have to write it down. For the elements, what is the symbol for any compound, what is that way of writing the representation of that formula. Okay, let's see, one more statement is in front of you. A chemical equation is a way to represent the chemical reaction in concise and informative way. Correct, because it's a very easy way to find it out the chemical reaction. Is it a symbols forms that gives you very faster way information just looking it by symbols. Okay, now students, this is one of the table I've taken from the ninth class book of your science, in which we have a symbols, name of elements along with their symbols, atomic number, number of protons, number of neutrons, electrons along with the distribution of cell, and you can see here valency. Students, you can see here we have 18 elements along with their symbols are written. So we have done with the oxygen whose symbol is O. As we know that oxygen exists in the molecule form which has valency 2. So that's why we have written here oxygen O2. Please see it. For chlorine is also again we have a gas which is Cl, and again it exists in the, you can write it down here. Okay, now for carbon you can see we have a symbol C. For helium, just remember the symbol related to 18 elements that going to be beneficial for you. So that way this distribution of a table for different symbol and the different valencies that helping out to find it out. You can see here magnesium, that magnesium exists in the with the valency of 2, so that's why you can write Mg. Okay, so that way we have a magnesium symbol. For aluminium we have L, Al, silicon Si. So that way you can identify along with the symbols of an element. Okay, now students, this is one of the question. You have to write it down the chemical equation of a given reaction. So the reaction is in front of you. Just pause the video for a few seconds and write it down your answer in the comment box. So I guess students, you have done your work and identify how we can. So you know that here we have a hydrogen along with reacts with oxygen, it gives water. So we know that hydrogen exists in the molecule form. So we need H2 along with we need oxygen which exists again we have oxygen in O2 form that will gives us water which is H2O. So students, please prefer the table to see the symbols related to the elements. So in the next video, we are going with the meet with next topic, which is interesting one. So thank you students. We will meet in the next video.